Hey guys, welcome to this class for hips and hammies when you're pregnant. So, funny things happen to the hips when we're pregnant. They're opening and expanding. You might get a little bit of sciatica pain. You might feel that you've got a bit of SI pain. So this class is not for those specific conditions. This is just tightness in the hips. So maybe you find that you can't sit cross-legged. So if you're finding that your knees are up really high and you're feeling really quite constricted, you want to make a little bit more space in those hips because we know that's good for when we're having baby. This class is for you. If you're having any pain in these areas, opening the hips isn't actually going to help. So if you're having any pain, first of all, see a specialist so that they can work directly with you, or check out the specific classes on SI pain, some of the conversations that we've been having with an EP here in the studio, and also the sciatica class, if that's specifically you. But if it's just general tightness, this class is for you. You may want to practice with a couple of blocks that can help lift the hips up if they're really tight when we head into things like pigeon. Otherwise, let's get started. So I'd like you to come to hands and knees. And to start with, I just want you to take circles through the hips. So sitting back towards the heels, coming around to the right, opposite side. So just feeling into those hips. If this is early morning for you, you're probably finding the hips and the hammies are really quite tight. So you can connect with your ujjayi breath, so in and out through the nose. Gentle constriction of the throat. And then take the knees nice and wide. Sit back towards the heels, reach the arms forward. So this is when a block can come in handy if you're finding you're really quite tight. The forehead can come to a block. Soften down, soften the shoulders, keep the arms outstretched. And then as you inhale, come up. So bring that right knee underneath the hip, step the left leg forward, come into a kneeling lunge here. So lift through the heart and just really lean the weight into that front left foot so that you can stretch through that right hip. Then as you inhale, let's walk that front foot across into the center of the body. Draw the toes back towards you, inhale, lift. And exhale to fold. So you can move that block if it's annoying you there. We'll use it shortly. Soften the head and neck down. And then inhale, bring the weight back forward. Lift the body up with the hands so that you can take that front foot and walk it across. So you may find that your hips like it with the foot behind the right wrist, or tuck the foot right into the groin so that you can stretch that back leg out behind you. So we move into our pigeon. This is where our block comes in handy again if we're quite tight, bringing it underneath that hip. Maybe even the high side if you find you're really tight. Otherwise, softening down on the block, lifting through the heart, and then exhale, folding forwards. So letting the belly completely relax. If you're finding it's too much to soften down, you can stay with the hands supporting the body. Just breathe here. As you inhale, let's slowly start to release. So let's bring that block out the way. Bring the back knee in and then step that front foot back. Come back to our circles. So circling one way and then circling the other. And step the right foot forwards. Come to our kneeling lunge. Inhale, lift through the heart. And exhale. Maybe you can soften down onto the palms. Maybe you need to stay quite high, but bring that weight into that front foot. So it should feel good. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable. If it's uncomfortable, just ease back a little bit. And then as you inhale, bring the weight to the back knee, walk that front foot across to the midline. Draw the toes back, inhale, lift, and exhale to soften. Moving back forward once more, this time hands to the floor. That foot comes either behind the opposite wrist. So hands come to the floor, that front foot comes across either behind that left wrist or tuck it in. Stretch the back leg up behind you, inhale, lift. Remember, you can use that block if you need it underneath the hips. And then exhale, softening down if it feels good. So if you have the range, you can come all the way down, maybe even resting the forehead to a block. I'm just noticing my block's got chew marks in it from my 1-year-old. Nice. Soften through the shoulders, through the neck. And then slowly bringing the hands back underneath the chest. Bring that back knee in first. And then this one, take the knees wide. So bring them off the mat. And you're just going to bring the hands underneath the chest so that you can slowly, obviously if you're on carpet, you might need to inch away a little bit further. I'm on wooden floors, so I slide down quite easily. And just opening through those hips. So if you can sit further back, so inching the butt back. If it doesn't feel good though, you inch forward a little bit further. You could take even a little bit of a rock back, and then inhale forwards, exhale back. So notice there's a lot of feeling there in the inner thigh and in the groin, so lots of circulation, beautiful fresh blood and oxygen moving to that space. And then bring the hands underneath, lift the knees back in and come all the way up to have a seat. Between the feet if you can. If that's not comfortable, because your quads are probably quite tight, use the block and sit up on the block. So from your block, just pressing the knees down into the floor, and for some of us this might be enough. So just pressing the knees down, drawing the shoulders back and down might be stretching your quads enough already. If you'd like a little bit more, you can press the hands behind you and open up through the chest. Maybe even lift the hips up slightly so you're getting a little bit of a stretch around the knees and in the quads. The head and neck can even fall behind you if that feels good. And then slowly rise back up to have a seat. So rock onto the right side as you bring the left foot forwards. So if you're not up on a block, you may want to be up on one now, especially if these hamstrings are quite tight. So bring it in line so that your legs and your hips are quite square. And then as you inhale, lift the arms up so you lengthen through the spine, and exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift through the heart, and then exhale to soften a little bit more. So we work with the breath here. Inhale, lift. Exhale to soften. Inhale to lift. So you may not be coming down as far as me, and that's fine. So even if you're up here, as long as you're gently contracting this thigh to press it down towards the floor and drawing the toes back, that's beautiful. You're doing everything right. Inhale, coming up. I want you to bend that foot. Place the foot down. And we're just going to take a gentle twist towards that leg. So you'll notice there's no compression of the belly here. Even if you've got quite a big belly, you shouldn't be compressing it against the thigh. So we're just twisting gently through the spine without doing any abdomen compression for obvious reasons. And then gently releasing back to the front. So take this leg back, opposite one forwards. Inhale, rise the arms, and then exhale to fold. keep working with that breath. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, we fold forward from the hips. And then inhale, rise back up. Sole of the foot comes to the floor. Hold on to the outer side of that knee, hand comes behind, and just gentle twist. And you can twist from the pelvis, so the pelvis can twist gently as well. Nice twisting out of the spine, the muscles of the back, easing any tension there. And then exhale, slowly releasing back down to the front. So remove the block. Of course, you can sit up on it if you know that you need to, but we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall out to the side. If yours are really high, you're just going to be pressing hands on them and inviting them down to the floor. If they're already quite open, so often women have quite open hips. It's a generalization, but most men are like this because they don't need to bear children, whereas often women are like this. But if you've been sitting in a chair, or if you do lots of running and things like that, you might find you're a bit tighter than normal. And then try and open the feet out like a book. It kind of just helps to open these muscles a little bit more. And then inhale, lift through the chest, exhale to fold. And just until you can feel it in this hip. So see if you can soften down through the head and neck. You don't need to hold any tension there. Inhale, coming back up. So this time we're going to cross the ankles over each other. So this is first option. If you want to go a little bit further, you can bring that top ankle all the way up onto the opposite knee. Keep the foot flexed. Turn to face this leg. So really turn through the chest. Inhale, lift, and exhale to fold. Bring the hands out a little bit wider. Inhale, lift, exhale to fold. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Slowly coming to sit back up. So you want that top one underneath now. So it might be that you come back to crossed ankles, or if you can get there, right up onto the opposite hip. And you want to gently be pressing down with this knee. So this leg is still active. So inhale, lift, turn, and exhale, soften. Bring the arms out a bit wider. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. So you should feel quite a nice stretch on this side that you're folding over. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And slowly release back to the front. Bring the soles of the feet together. But this time, take them out a little bit wider so there's lots of space here for your belly. Inhale, lift, and exhale to fold. We're just going to stay here for 5 full breaths. Soften the head and neck down. And slowly rise back up. Well done. So often after a physical yoga practice, so an asana practice as we call it, it's a really good time to do some meditation. So if you have a little bit of extra time, now is the perfect time. The body is feeling open and ready for that space. So there's lots of meditations here in the studio. You can check them out. Pick one that suits you in time-wise and maybe also focus if there's something you need to specifically work on. Otherwise, have a beautiful day and I hope we get to practice again soon. Namaste.